All righty. Hey, you guys, if you're still with us, thank you for sticking around. And so now we're going to get into part 2 of our interview with Josea Busby. And she actually puts on chicken stock. She didn't inherit it from her parents from 19 years ago. 19 years ago, she decided this is what we need to do in chicken. So, and if you're keeping track, next year will be the 20th year anniversary of chicken stock. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
And so, to lead off our free flow, I have a question for you. I work for the government. I work in logistics, and I've been assigned to Fort Wainwright since 2018. And this past January, I finally decided it's time for my wife and I to attend Chicken Stop. I'm going to get online and get some tickets. I got online, and it's like the server crashed because I'm like, I can't order my tickets. Please explain to us what happened. Because I wanted to go to Chicken Stock. I even tried to get to Chicken Stock as a vendor. I was like, I'm desperate. I'm gonna ask if I could be a vendor.
So there were 72,000 refreshes in that first minute.
Ooh,
so there were a lot of people online.
72,000?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But what happened in that first little bit was that everybody tied the tickets up in their carts for 5 minutes, and then as people either chose not to buy them or walked away from their cart lasting more than 5 minutes, those would dump back into inventory.
Okay.
And so the last tickets purchased that day were 38 minutes after we released them. So yes, they sold out really fast, but they looked like they were sold out in that first minute, but in reality they weren't when people chose either not to buy the ones that were in their cart or whatever.
Were they sold out to all Alaska residents, or are there actually lower 48 people that are actually going to make the trek up here to attend Chicken Stock?
There are some as far as Australia that are coming to Chicken
Australia?
Stock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Australia.
But yes, mostly Alaskans, mostly Fairbanks.
Got you.
I'd want to find the Australians to drink with, but
Yeah.
so you've ever drank with Australians? It's a trip.
I have in Australia.
I want to go to Australia.
Me too.
I feel like I hear too many horror stories, though. Like, everything can kill you there.
That's where I learned how to drink.
So I did go to Jeju-do, and I was assigned to Korea's 2nd Infantry Division in 1992, and I took an MWR trip, and we did the cliff thing down in Jeju-do, but that was only one little portion. We didn't get a chance to go all over, but I would like to do it as a tourist one day.
So I want to talk about the cups. I see you got some cups over there, and you were talking about the artwork, how you have somebody change the artwork every year.
Yeah.
Are the cups kind of something that is newer, or is that something you've also been doing over the years and it also keeps changing?
So we've been doing those. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember. 2014 was the first year that we did those metal cups.
So you're 11 then, ish, 10
yeah,
or 11.
ish. And they migrated from just a cup for sale at the merch tent to an actual cup that goes with every ticket. And the reason for that, and you missed a question, so I'm going to go back to a question.
Okay. What question did we miss? Oops.
You missed the sustainability and environmental impact of your events. And
Well,
you
that was
asked
me
it-
asking about the.
He asked
The
it. He just
cleanup afterwards.
reworded
Yeah,
it.
to go back to that question and to go onto the cups. In chicken, we generate our own power, haul our own water, deal with our own sewage, and we have to deal with our own trash. So in the past, we used to use plastic cups. Well, when you start serving 50-some kegs at an event, that's a lot of plastic cups.
Yes,
for
it
sure.
is.
Yeah.
So we went to the metal cups to discourage it, and then that's why we eventually went to a metal cup with every ticket holder, because then we got rid of plastic altogether. And
That's a good idea.
yeah, so
Wow.
Clean Canteen, they will imprint for you if you basically say that you're going to go plastic free. So that's what we did.
That's really cool, though. It's not just a cup that you're trying to promote your show with, but it's also to reduce environmental impacts. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So we have to sort all of our own trash. We have the vendors sort their trash. They got to keep we don't allow styrofoam because we can't burn it.
Right.
We separate burnables. We burn burnables, and we ship stuff that's not burnable out.
So to all of our listeners, and so as of the last week's recording, we have listeners in 7 different countries, I believe.
I think that's what you said, yeah.
So to give you guys that are listening from different countries an idea of what the logistical issues that chicken has to deal with. Chicken is basically, can we say it's in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
It's a wide spot in a dirt road.
Yes. You're
not
just
even very
driving
wide.
and driving and driving and driving and driving, and all of a sudden, bam, you get to chicken, and you're there. And in the wintertime, there's only 2 residents, and in the summertime, the rest of the individuals, they come up and they do what they do on their staked out land in order to dig for gold. So I can see how it would be an issue. Like trash is an issue. So that's a very good idea with that steel cup, because you just wash the cup, you get more beer or water or whatever you want to put into your steel cup. And when you leave chicken, you leave it as it was when you first got there. Litter free, no styrofoam cups, no plastic ready cups all over the place, and everybody's happy.
That's right.
Exactly.
So, here's one thing I'm wondering about is weather. How many years have you guys got rained out?
Well, we've never gotten rained out, but we've had
Rained
a couple of rainy years, and they haven't been like really badly rainy. But I'd say probably 2 years have had some significant rain, maybe 3.
Now, so what happens when that happens?
What happens when that happens?
Yeah, does the show go on?
The show goes
wet.
on. People get wet.
Okay.
They got to be able to deal with that.
Okay. All right. Good
You guys
deal.
ever make like a mud slip and slide?
No, because it's mostly gravel.
Oh,
I mean, you could make a gravel slip and slide. That would
that would be terrible.
It's not like with the second time they tried to do Woodstock, where everything went to crap because it rained and
Yeah.
people were angry.
I mean, we're like Fairbanks. We're dry, so for the most part, we don't get a ton of rain anyway.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So, tell us about you. So, where are you from? Where were you born? Etc., etc., etc.
I'm from Alaska. I was born in Homer.
Okay.
And we always wintered in Homer, and we summered in Chicken. I've been summering in Chicken since I was 6 weeks old.
And so, summering in chicken is because of the mining.
Gold mining, yep.
So, your father is he still a miner?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. My family has partnered with my husband and I, and we actually currently mine. It's called Lost Chicken. It's right over the hill from Chicken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that means that you guys are constantly discovering gold?
I mean, yeah, not constantly, but you got a lot of prep work for gold mining. But yes, we discover gold.
Okay,
We're lucky.
so I'm envisioning what I think of as a prospecting gold miner camp. Please explain to us exactly what it is that you do in Chicken with the gold mining.
We're a cat mine, so we strip basically the overburden off of the ground.
And do
then
you have
mine
like heavy
gravel.
is heavy equipment involved, or are you guys just out there with like little pins, like you go up to the Stees with the gold mine sisters?
Is that how you make money, man?
Boom, 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 boom.
We do both actually. So we have a heavy equipment mine. If you want to call it a D8, piece of heavy equipment. Mm-hmm. So
It's a good sized dozer.
yeah, I mean we have bigger stuff, but
It's a medium-sized dozer at most.
that's what we do. We also have a hydraulic. We're one of the last hydraulic operating mines in the state, so we have gravity-fed water that goes into sprinkler systems to help melt the overburden.
You got a monitor?
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys have like employees for real?
We have one mine employee.
Oh.
Just my dad and and my husband, and then the employee, and
Oh.
I help clean gold when they have gold to clean. And
Oh. Wow.
but we use pans. You use pans for prospecting so you know where you're stripping.
Yeah.
And then the RV park has a recreational site, so we actually take tourists and recreational miners out onto a claim and then either teach them how to do it or they already know how to do it and they're hobbyists and they do it.
Okay, so I'm from California, and I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. And so whenever I think of prospecting and gold mining, in my mind, because I grew up in California, we were indoctrinated into the 49ers and the gold panners. And so in my mind, that's what I'm envisioning, just guys out there on the riverbed creek, and they're shoveling, and there's gold.
We need to introduce you to the sluice box.
The what's that?
A sluice box, man. Jeez.
What's that?
You don't know what a sluice box is?
Bro, I'm
You're
from the
a
city,
state-
man. I'm
you're-
from the
You're
city.
from a state that exists solely because of gold mining.
He just doesn't realize that all the gravel
And you're like-
companies there are gold mining
Yeah.
companies.
No.
Yeah.
See? Here we go.
So, like, the biggest problem that we have at my work is when you're doing assay work on stuff, you want to occasionally run some clean rock through the crusher
Yep.
to get any residue of gold out of there.
Okay.
Do you know how hard it is to find rock in this state that doesn't contain gold?
No. I don't, bro. I've only been here for 7 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have an inquisitive
place is
mind. Tell
covered with
me.
gold.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
Really? I didn't know, man.
There's a lot of gold in this state.
Damn.
More gold than anybody knows, I would say.
Okay.
Tell me.
Yeah,
tell
but
me,
talking
tell
to
me.
you about gold, I mean,
Yeah.
geez.
Just go on to any of them A&E shows, Discovery shows, and look at some of them Alaskan gold mining shows.
Yeah.
They're kind of staged, but it gives you a pretty good idea of how they gold mine
Ah.
here in the state. Just watch a couple episodes, you'll understand.
Got you. Okay, so
The chicken sculpture.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why, but it arrived on a flatbed trailer from Homer. It was built at the Homer High School out of the old gym lockers.
really? How many years ago?
I'm thinking 2011, maybe.
Oh, so it's like a basically recent thing. It hasn't always been there.
No, it hasn't always been there.
Wow. So
It was a friend of ours who is a high school welding teacher, and he decided to surprise us with a giant
Yeah, that
metal
one.
chicken. Yeah. So that's the old high school lockers.
Yeah. So a high school class built that.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
I mean, like the
That's
first
a big chicken too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. First time I ever went to chicken. Well, the only time I've ever been to chicken. I'm like, there's a giant chicken. Had to
Wow.
get a photo in front of it.
Wow. Okay, so from chicken, and so like you can't make this stuff up, folks. And so look here, I'm a man of wonder. I've got like a lot of questions in my mind, and a lot of things amaze me. And so, what's amazing about the trip to chicken is if you keep on going from chicken, you eventually get to where? Josie, please tell us.
Canada?
No, eagle.
Oh, okay.
So was that a coincidence? Like chicken, and you keep on going a little bit further. Oh, and you're an eagle.
That is a question that we get a lot. So
Yes.
why is it called chicken?
Yes, exactly. Why is it called chicken?
There's a couple different stories, but the main one is that they didn't know how to spell ptarmigan, the old miners. Because there's a silent P.
Well, it is a hard word to spell.
It is, yeah.
They're kind of dumb.
They're
But-
very dumb.
But there's also some things like gold was the size of chicken feed, or when you fly over the rivers, there's gravel bars that look like chicken feet that sort of stick out. So there's a couple different stories, but the main one is that they didn't know how to spell ptarmigan.
Wow.
Did you guys know that you're not the only chicken stock in the world?
I did know that. In fact,
Okay.
we've had people buy tickets or apply
For the wrong one?
For the wrong ones, yes.
Okay, where's the other chicken
I
stock?
was just looking
in
at this
Kent,
one. There's
England.
one in United Kingdom, Stockbury, Sittingbourne, Chicken Stock Music Festival in England. Yeah, England.
But we were first.
Okay,
you
so
first? Nice.
okay, so what made you think of? Okay, so never mind, because chicken stock. So that's where you came up with the name chicken stock.
Yeah, I actually had kind of was trying to decide between chicken stock, like obviously like Woodstock,
Yep,
which
yep.
which had a bird on its guitar,
Yep.
or like Top of the World Music Festival because we're on the top of the world highway. But
Got
you
you.
had to go with chicken stock because it's just a funny play on a lot of words.
Got you. Yeah. I was looking at the map the other day. Top of the World Highway is how you get to
Yeah.
chicken stock. So, Alaska never ceases to amaze me.
That sounded staged.
That sounds a lot better than the last one.
Alaska never ceases to amaze me. And if you've never been to Alaska and you want a reason to come to Alaska, if you like music, I'm going to tell you, this is a fantastic reason to book a trip to Alaska. Or if you're from Alaska and you've never ventured outside of your immediate community, because, believe it or not, I have met people since I've been here who've never been to Homer, who've never been to Valdez, who've never been to Seward. And I'm like, I get my RV and I go to these places every summer because I don't want to leave Alaska and have those regrets. So if you are in Alaska or you want to come to Alaska, please make it a point to, in the summertime, journey out to Chicken, because I'm pretty sure that you will not be disappointed in what adventures lie ahead of you when you arrive in that particular part of the state. So I've been to the Arctic Circle up north. That's the furthest north I've been. And the furthest south I've been is to Homer, and everywhere in between. I've never been to the east side of Alaska and up to Chicken. So I'm thinking this might be the summer that we just decide to just go. Having said that, what's the trek like to get from Fairbanks to Chicken? Like in an RV. I've got a 31-foot RV. What's that trip like going to be like for me?
Well, it's great until you hit the Taylor Highway.
The Taylor Highway.
The Taylor Highway is it's decent for the first probably 30 to 40 miles, and then the last half of it is just really deteriorated.
So when you say half of it, how many miles are we talking as for that half?
The Taylor Highway is 66 miles.
Oh, shucks.
Chicken.
Yeah, okay.
So you've got
gravel.
Yeah, gravel. It's chip seal, and then they've ripped the chip seal up in most of the last 20 to 30 miles, and the maintenance has gotten really bad. And
Oh, so you got to have some good shocks is what you're saying.
yeah, and you got to go real slow.
Oh. So how long does it take to get to Chicken from Fairbanks?
I usually plan on 5 hours.
So if the roads were in a perfectly good condition and you were able to go the speed limit the whole way, what would it be?
It'd probably be somewhere between, probably about 5 hours. Really.
About 5.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said you have to slow down though.
You do if you want to save your vehicle.
And so what's the average mile per hour once you pick the Taylor Highway up to Chicken? What's
Slow.
Okay, so what's slow?
I think 45, 50.
Oh,
And
okay.
on the last 20 miles, I'd say more like maybe 30 or less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's gotten really bad in the last couple of years.
A lot of potholes.
Potholes, frost heaves. Yeah.
Got you.
That's better than driving into McCarthy. I don't know if you've ever done that.
I haven't been to McCarthy, no.
Yeah, it's probably about 15,
Yeah.
20 miles. Well, if you're driving an RV or towing a camper, yeah. If you're just driving a car or truck, you go pretty quick. But that's another one of them rough.
What's this year's lineup?
Good question.
Blackwater Railroad's coming back. They've been for a few years. King Swordfish is from Canada. They're coming back. They've been for probably well over a decade. Steve Brown has been coming on and off, but for the most part on since I think the third year we did it, or maybe the second year. He was really in the beginning. Fireweed Fiddle is a Fairbanks band. They've been coming for probably close to a decade. Still House is brand new. They're from the Anchorage area. Jenny Baker is brand new. Zen Tremble's come for the last couple of years. They're from the Anchorage area. Hot Dishes from Palmer. They've been coming for well over a decade. Sourdough Risers is from Fairbanks. They've been coming on and off for probably close to a decade. King Saison is from the East Coast, and this is going to be their second year. They were great last year. Danger Town is also the Anchorage area, been involved through their band or other bands since the beginning. Gordy Tendries is from the Yukon, and he is coming for the first time, and Johnny J is a Fairbanks guy coming for the first time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how many sets does each band play? Just one set?
No, they play one set per day. So we
okay.
do like a shorter set on Friday with everybody gets to do a shorter set, and then they all get a full set on Saturday.
Okay, and so it's over with by Saturday evening, and everybody goes back to wherever they came from on Sunday.
Yes.
Nice.
People have asked us to do a longer festival or to do like Chicken Stock 2 in the fall. It's just, you get exhausted after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are all the bands kind of like the same genre, or
Most of them sound like
pretty
bluegrass
kind
to
of
me.
spread out with different types of styles?
They are spread out a little bit. Bluegrass is like the basic, but we actually have, we've got some country leaning people. We've got folk, we have rockabilly, we have some rock. So we've got a good mix of people, actually.
So I know, like, last few years or couple years has had like Cousin Curtis come.
Oh,
here. Have a
yeah.
big show here. Have you ever tried to get?
Oh,
them
bro, he was
out
good.
there for Chicken Stock.
Cousin Curtis has been involved for over 10 years. Last year was his 11th year.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
so he is out there.
Yeah, in fact.
Oh, okay, cool.
In
Yeah.
fact, he was a school teacher in Tok, like way in the beginning, and he
Really?
showed up as a just a festival goer and said, "Hey, I'm a musician. If you've got room on your stage, I'd love to play." So we threw him up there because we had room back then.
Look, Cousin
not
Curtis
this
had
year.
me just. I was out here. I had a good time with Cousin Curtis.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
he had a very good opportunity to play at a festival with some really big names, and so they decided to do that. But he had a hard time deciding whether to come back or.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was here last year,
I
and
was too. It was fun.
I camped in my RV in this parking lot back here. That was a fun night, bro.
I remember you saying you were going to bring your RV
That was a fun night, and so I'm glad I did because we had a good night that
because you
night.
weren't driving home.
I wasn't driving home. No, I wasn't driving home that night.
You,
See, I'm a responsible 36-ounce drinker, everybody. So,
good. That's
so
good.
let that be known.
Can you get a ticket for sleeping in a vehicle with your keys?
No, because there were a bunch of vehicles in that back parking lot right there off of Phil Road, and we were all doing the same thing. I just so happened to have my RV because I could get up, when you drink a lot of beer and you got to
36 ounces is a lot.
dispatch that beer during the night. I was in my RV. Everybody else was in their cars. I'm like, I feel sorry for them. Boom.
You never really buy a beer. You're just renting it.
That's a good one.
That actually is a pretty legit statement.
I'm gonna use that right there. I'm gonna use that right there.
Just running it for a while. It's filtered through my kidneys, and then there it goes.
But
That's a
yes,
good one.
I think you can get in trouble if you're in a vehicle with keys, but I think it would really take someone having a really bad day to come bug you. If
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Sitting there
I
set
mean,
up to
yeah.
camp and sleep in your motorhome.
If
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
a car, it's one thing, but a motorhome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both a moving vehicle on wheels with
Yeah.
keys.
Well, what you do is you put your keys in like the gas fill.
I mean, but if that's the case, everybody who camps out at because I'm going to be in Talkeetna for the 4th of July weekend, and I'm going to have my keys in my RV while I'm.
I know.
I'm going to be.
I mean, it's the same.
I
with all of
think
our
that
vehicles.
rule is really looked at for like cars.
Yeah. So this is
If you're
Alaska,
sleeping
though.
in your car in the
This is
holiday
Alaska.
parking lot or something.
Yeah, this is Alaska.
It never ceases to amaze you.
Yeah. So because I'm pretty sure you've seen some pretty wild stuff. Okay, so speaking of pretty wild stuff, let's get into my next question. How many people have found love at the chicken stock and gotten married the previous year or whatever, however many years at the chicken stock? How many
I know
chicken
of
stock
one.
babies are there out there?
Well, yeah. So I don't know how many there are, that, but I definitely know of one that was a ticket holder.
Yep.
That they said their baby was conceived in chicken stock.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also know that we have had several of our flock members find their significant others at Chicken Stock.
Yes. Okay, so let's hit a pause real quick because you keep on saying this and I would just want to bring attention to it. So if you guys are paying attention, flock members, chicken stock, chickens flock together. So she's keeping that theme going right there. And so that's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like Beyonce's Beehive. Or who else? Or like, what's her name? Lady Gaga's. So what's Lady Gaga's people are called?
Gagas?
I know.
I don't know.
Well, anyways. So, yeah, along that same thing. So you have,
The event flock.
yeah, the event flock. Yeah, that's some cool stuff right there. Let's give you your flowers for your flock. The flock is doing a good job.
They're doing an excellent job.
Exactly. Let's give them some flowers. We're going to end this interview with one question that I ask everybody before we depart. What is your why?
My why, I think I probably get it at the end of every festival, basically, or probably through the festival each time I do it. But it's just it's good to see people having a really good time, good, clean fun in a town that has been part of my life for a long time. So
Okay, so that's your why. Having said that, I'm Tilden.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Brandon.
and I'm Josie.
And this was 36, the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And we are